From festive eats to good reads, we're showcasing the city's creative spirit. This is DXB Today.
Evening, guy. It's been quite the week, hasn't it? And I'd tell you that the weekend's going to, well, slow down. But then again, I'd be lying, wouldn't I? A weekend full of food for thought and, well, just loads of food as well.
That is right. Get ready because the time of Taste of Dubai, the festival is on this weekend and is the perfect place for you to experience a lot of different cuisines.
And while you're planning your weekend itinerary, dust off those reading glasses and head down to the Emirates Literature Festival to discover an inspiring lineup of authors. What are you guys leaning towards, food or literature?
Food.
Oh, literature all the way, guys. They're celebrating 15 years this year.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be down at the Lit Fest. Actually, there's quite a nice blending of food with the Literature Fest this year with a couple of celebrity chefs over, a lot of foodie options down there as well. So.
And I believe that Brian Cox, his talk, his rags to riches story just happened last night, and it was a huge success. And I'm personally really excited about all the Arab authors because I get to get all these Arabic books for my kids.
Yeah.
They enjoyed it bedtime, and I practiced my Arabic.
And I had the opportunity to go down to the Brian Cox thing last night, which was amazing.
Oh.
They have they filled out the auditorium, the tent that they put up especially for him. And I think, am I right in saying that we've got a little bit of an exclusive later on?
Our very own Ashwarya She's caught up with him.
Secretly.
Now, that's all still to come to help us decide what foods to try and how best to enjoy them over the course of the weekend. It's time to find out the identity of our co-host this evening. Here's a few clues. Celebrated cookbook author, food consultant, editor, face familiar to millions here in the region. Who is our co-host this evening?
Hi, I'm Dalia Dormouche. I'm a chef, cookbook author, and I recently opened a restaurant, and I'm very excited to be with you all on the show today.
Delia, thank you so much indeed. Looking forward to catching up with Delia a little later on and talk all things food with Del. But before we decide on what we're eating and dining on tonight and where, let's celebrate a bit of culture and, of course, the written word at the Emirates Literature Festival.
Yep, people from all over the world and the UAE, of course, are down at Festival City and the Mohammed bin Rashid Library to meet their favorite authors and update their reading list. Let's go to Faris, who's on the ground witnessing it all.
Hi, I'm here at the Emirates Literature Festival, which is happening in two different venues this year. So one part of it is going down at the Intercontinental Hotel in Festival City, and the other part, of course, is happening in this gorgeous building. We're talking about the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Library. Now, this is the part of the Literature Festival which is going to have most of the workshops. So if you're an aspiring author, if you're already an author and you want to hone your craft or you want to network with other writers from around the world, this is definitely the place for you to be in because there's going to be workshops in English, Arabic, Filipino, and even Malayalam as well. There's something for everybody here all over the weekend. I'm going to have myself a look around and then we're going to come back with more details.
Thank you very much indeed. Is Faris whispering there?
For the first time ever, by the way.
Is it because he was in the library?
Yeah, he was not singing or dancing
he had
for once.
to be very calm in there.
Listen, lots to talk about with regards to Litfest. Loads of time to meet your literary heroes at the festival. Continues all the way through till Monday next week. So get down there over the weekend. Dalia, thanks indeed for joining. So nice to see you again.
So good to see you.
Great to have you on board.
Me.
No stranger to the Litfest, no stranger to the food and beverage scene here. That's been one of the nice things, isn't it, the Litfest, is how it's married and brought a number of celebrity chefs over in recent years.
Absolutely. It's the best of both worlds, if I may say. No, very excited. And you know, I think year on year, it's getting better. It's nice to see so much talent from the region been given a platform to shine.
Yeah, exactly.
And Dubai does that really well.
Yeah, quite right too.
Well, I'm excited to keep this culinary dream going on for as long as we can as we bring on our next guest. He's a food blogger on a mission to uncover Dubai's hidden gems. Please help us welcome Alex Augusti. Now, Alex, how do you turn dining at Dubai's best restaurants into a full-time job? Because sign me up.
I know, it's a dream job. I didn't think it was actually going to materialise. But it's taken a lot of work, it's taken a lot of food and a lot of gym to burn all the calories off, but it's been a great journey and I love every moment of it.
In terms of the foodie scene out there, I mean, a lot of the perception is that it's all luxury, it's all 5-star, it's all Michelin. One of your sort of mantras, though, is that you can eat at a budget anywhere. Is that right?
That's the thing. Like, obviously, everyone sees like the fine dining, the glitz and glam, but there's loads and loads of like hidden, homegrown, family-run businesses around Dubai that serve excellent food, probably better than you find in DIFC, if I'm honest. But maybe I'm biased.
Do you feel that the recent, Mishnah and 50 Best have given a lot of attention to smaller businesses and those that aren't, in the shiny hotels and so on?
In a way, I think it's great to have those chefs recognised because there is some excellent food and restaurants, and like hats off to the teams that have achieved all these awards. But there's kind of like a subculture within Dubai of these places that are a little bit more rustic, a little bit more homegrown, from a lot of different cultures and ethnicities as well. And they bring their family recipes. And that's where in my opinion, you find the real good, honest food. I just love trying to find these places and obviously share them with everyone else.
And can you just be more specific and give us some recommendations of the places that you have been to and we should go to and try?
If someone's coming to Dubai for the first time, they can only go to 5 places.
Yes.
Okay, it's going to be tough to narrow it down. I think, first of all, for me, there's a restaurant called Huri Special Kebab. It's in Al Mamzar and really tucked away. It's a Persian restaurant. They do the best Persian kebabs cooked over the charcoal, and they also make this traditional sanyak bread. So it's cooked on little pebbles, thousands of little pebbles that are heated up, and they put this really wet dough, spread it over there, and then it gets really crispy.
Oh, it looks really nice. You can see.
Yeah, it's excellent. So they literally make it here. And then the kebabs are spectacular. Wow. They really are good.
What are you doing to us?
What else? Hit us.
Next place would have to be Asian Street by Thai.
Okay.
So this is in JLT. It's run by a woman called Tip. She's from the Isan region of Thailand, which is known for using a lot of spice, and she literally brings her mother's recipes. So it's some of the best Thai food you're actually going to find in the city. It's very spicy.
Wow! If you can see it over there.
Yeah, be warned. Like it's a small establishment, but it's they cook with a lot of heart and a lot of passion, and the flavours are.
And that's key, isn't it? Because a lot of people might walk past that and go, "Oh, it's a bit small," and they haven't spent much on the furniture. But the food does the talking, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the food definitely does the talking. Yeah. I think if staying on the Asian front, there's a restaurant called Kunlun in International City. So essentially, I'm part of a food community, so I've got a lot of people from around the world. Peggy Lee's our China expert, so she says this is one of the best, if not the best, Chinese restaurant in International City.
I think I've seen it driving around over there because I like hot pot.
Oh, do you? Yeah. And it's known for its roast duck, so they actually roast the duck in the restaurant. You get it incredibly fresh, and they prepare it, they slice it in front with the pancakes and the hoisin sauce.
Thanks so much, Alex. And people can find you on Just Food DXB.
Yeah.
You've got an amazing account. We'd love to have you back on the show, and thanks for your suggestions. I actually don't know any of them, so now we know where to dine out this weekend. So lots of good options.
Yeah, good on you, Alex, for making us very, very hungry indeed. Right, we're going to be back shortly. Stay tuned because more dreams are about to come true on the other side of this break as we take a trip into the world of publishing and tap into Dubai's more bookish side.
Welcome back. We're all about culture, literature, and community today, and our next guest is reviving storytelling in Dubai by helping local writers and aspiring authors find their voice, one story at a time.
He is an international best-selling author himself and is the mind behind Passionpreneur Publishing. Please help me welcome Mustafa Hamawi. Ahlan, Mustafa.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
Good.
Thank you for
very
joining
much.
us.
Thank you for
Can you
having me.
please tell us more about your publishing house, Passionpreneur? Where does the name come from and how did it start?
When I started my speaking career, I got given the name Mr. Passion by the late Professor Tony Buzan, inventor of mind mapping. And then the National did an article about me that said the Syrian who lost everything and became a passionpreneur.
Okay.
So I capitalized on that and just launched Passionpreneur Publishing, which is about helping share more inspiration and passion with the world.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing.
Something that you said that really stuck with me was recruit for passion, train for skill. Tell me about that, because I think that's a wonderful approach.
Well, I think the world has been running until recently focusing on things that are trainable, if you want to think about it. So skills are things that you can train, if you've got enough passion for it. But passion, you either have it or you don't, because passion is purpose, or at least the way I look at it. Passion is purpose. So when you're really driven, you're going to find a way to become good at it. They say those who don't know, teach. Because they work hard at it till they get really good at it.
But you've got a passion for food, haven't you? And that passion for food, I know.
It translates to passion for books.
Translate because, but you didn't have to write a book. You didn't have to create the books that you did. But you obviously felt a need to get that message across. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I still want to get more across. So I agree with you. When you don't know, so there's this famous quote that's "I'm still learning" by Michelangelo, I believe. So yes, it's something. It's this. You feel the need to share stories, whether it's through food or through writing or through what you do. I was wondering, what was the moment where you thought, I'm going to do this? What is that?
Passion for passion.
Passion for passion. Good question. Well, when I started, I'm not a native English speaker, and I am not even a writer. Funny enough, I hate reading and I hate writing. As a successful publisher, I hate reading and I hate writing, but I love learning. I love watching documentaries. I love attending courses and workshops. A bit old school. Online courses, fine, but sitting with a book, I'm too hyperactive. Nice. And then when I started my speaking career, all the international authors and speakers that I interviewed, and I interviewed about 160 face-to-face, all told me consistently, Mustafa, write a book, Mustafa, write a book. One thing I am is I'm a good student. So if my teachers were telling me write a book, it took me a couple of years to write that book. And that moment was when, listen, I had enough of those write a book. I'm like, I'm just going to do it.
But you also have a special prize for us next week. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've got a signed copy of my latest best-selling book, The Guided Author. This is actually my baby, this one that's here, the colorful one.
We guessed.
But the new book was actually a distillation of my learning from helping so far about 120 authors write and publish their books in different fields, different genres, and distilled all of that from the past 4 or 5 years now. I've got a signed copy and access to our online academy worth $2,000. Plus a $2,000 discount voucher if somebody chooses that. So it's a bundle to hopefully inspire somebody who's watching this to get on with it and just finally write that book.
Thank you so much, Mustafa. You truly are an inspiration.
Thank you very much.
Very much looking forward to that prize.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now we've been talking authors, and of course the Emirates Literature Festival is the talk of town this weekend, attracting some huge talent, including an Emmy award-winning Hollywood icon who stars in a popular TV show. We have an exclusive with him coming up just a little bit later.
We do, Dina, but for now, let's check in with Faris, who's over there, and it's buzzing at the festival at the moment.
So guys, I'm absolutely loving LitFest this year. As I said, it's happening at the Intercontinental Hotel and at Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Library, and this is where a lot of the workshops are happening. So if you're an aspiring author, no matter what age you are, you definitely, because this is where the art of storytelling began, telling stories to the children around a fire. And it's really nice that that bit of heritage and culture is going to be brought through here at LitFest. Not only that, there's going to be performances as well, especially if you want to head over to the Fringe stage, and that's going to be happening on Saturday and Sunday, where they're going to be showcasing young performers and young talents right here in the UAE. We've got Fatima Sharafuddin, who's going to be hosting multiple different workshops and talks and sessions for kids and adults in Arabic, how to create a character, how to create a story, how to have a beginning, middle, and conclusion. All of that's going to be covered. And of course, there's going to be artists from all over the world and authors right here at LitFest. We're talking about some big UK names, like I already mentioned, Mr. Ben Miller, but also David Walliams, if you're a fan of his work, the man who swam the channel. He is going to be here at LitFest as well. So if you love books, if you love reading, if you love creativity, this is definitely the place to be. Litfest happening over Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be lit.
All right, well, Thaddeus is having some fun of his own. We're going to have some fun in the studio. Are you ready for DXB 60?
I'm not sure.
Like, we really didn't prep you at all. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. You have to answer as many correctly as possible. Our top score for this week so far is 9. Are you ready? I'm going to count you down.
As ready as I can.
All right, guys. 3, 2, 1. All right. Who's appearing at the Emirates Lit Fest for his book launch? Is it David Lynch or Brian Cox?
Brian Cox.
How long is the Emirates Lit Fest? 3 days or 5 days?
5 days.
Correct. Both correct so far. When will the festival come to a close? This Sunday or this coming Monday?
Monday.
Correct again. The Lit Fest is happening across 2 venues, the Intercontinental and Palm Jumeirah or Mohammed bin Rashid Library.
Mohammed bin Rashid Library.
Children's book writer Sarah McIntyre is hosting which workshop at the Lit Fest? How to create a comic book or how to get published?
How to create a comic book.
Correct. Which famous British comedian is also at the Lit Fest this year? David Walliams or Jack Whitehall?
Jack Whitehall.
Incorrect. What's the name of the food festival happening in Dubai this weekend? Taste of Dubai or Dubai Food Festival?
Taste of Dubai.
Correct. The Taste of Dubai is opening at which location? Dubai Design District or Dubai Media City Amphitheater?
Dubai Media City.
How long will Taste? Oh, time is up. You
Seven.
got 7.
That's because you were a bit slow.
I think I was speeding through it in the beginning, and then I had to keep it fair. No, I love you, Daya, but
I love you.
Can't be too biased. How did Daya do, guys, in comparison to everyone?
7 was the final score. Let's see how she
Let's see the
fares on the
leaderboard.
leaderboard, which is going to pop up for us in just a few moments' time. There it is.
You did well. You did well, Daya.
I did.
Third.
Not that well.
It's all right, it's podium. It's good.
I'll
You
ask
have
you
me
the
back?
rest of the questions
Oh,
after.
yeah, I'll be back. Don't you worry about that, that's for sure. Delia, brilliant performance. Well done, you.
Thank you very
Congratulations.
much.
And we can't thank you enough. Thanks so much indeed for being our co-host there. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.
We'll definitely get you back, see if we can get you up that leaderboard. Great to have Delia back on the screen. Now, we've certainly got our eyes right here on the sights and the scenes and the sounds that Dubai has to offer this weekend. But if you think there's anything that we've completely missed, give us a shout out on our socials, on Dubai One TV, or tag us on your weekend adventures with hashtag DXB Today. Your suggestion might well just be our next feature.
Indeed. Now time for a quick break, and when we're back, we've got a DXB Today exclusive with Succession star Brian Cox. That's right here on the one and only. Stay tuned. Welcome back to DXB Today. Now we are just minutes away from our exclusive one-on-one with Brian Cox, the Hollywood legend. But first, it's time to catch up with our performer for today, Minova.
Hi.
Hey, welcome to the show. Now, you were just 19 years old. You just released your first single. Is it I Miss You So?
Yes.
Miss You So. First of all, congratulations. How did
Thank
this
you
all
so
come
much.
together?
It pretty much just started with me writing it during the start of quarantine. And from there, it just sparked a bunch of ideas of, how everyone's just forced to be on calls instead of actually meeting up. So it was based on the experience of missing a lot of people that you care about. And it was during a time where everyone was leaving school, going abroad, and no one really had time to say goodbye or spend time with each other because of the sudden quarantine. So from there, it just started with me writing the song about it, and it's what struck. I miss you so. I sit by the phone and wait for your call.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I've heard the song, and it's beautiful. It's got that synth pop. I don't know if you're inspired by the 80s or modern, but, how many instruments do you play? Because I feel like you're this multi-talented 19-year-old.
I mostly play guitar. I also taught myself how to play piano, the drums, and ukulele.
Thank you so much, Minova. I can't wait for everyone to hear just how talented you are. Now, I'm going to leave you to get ready, and it is time for our exclusive one-on-one with the star of the HBO hit series Succession, our very own Aishwarya Ajid, caught up with Hollywood icon Brian Cox. Here it is.
I'm at the Emirates Airline Festival of Literature, and my guest today is an Emmy Award-winning actor we know from movies like Braveheart, Mindhunter, and Troy. He currently stars as the formidable media mogul and patriarch Logan Roy on the hit TV show Succession. Brian, I recently binge-watched Succession, so when I got this opportunity to meet you, I was so excited. I'm starstruck, but mostly a little bit terrified of you.
Oh, okay.
This is, of course, a testament to the character you play on the show Succession. Is that the general reaction you've been getting since the show?
Yeah, people are very kind of, they're always a bit nervous around me, when, you know, especially because of Logan, who I am nothing like. I mean, he and I are almost, I have great empathy for Logan. And I understand Logan, but his life and my life are entirely different, you know.
I'm sure. But because it's such a strong character and it is etched in everyone's memory, but you have such a rich portfolio of movies, theatre, television that you've done, do you think Succession is, I guess, partly because it is more relevant today, is the most talked about?
Probably. I mean, I think I'm incredibly blessed. I happen to be, I think, working and playing the sort of central character in probably the best show on television.
Absolutely.
And you can't get around that. And with that, there's great responsibility as well. And I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed. And, you know, it's so funny. I mean, when I was a young actor, people used to say, "Oh, Brian, you know, it'll be the long haul for you." I didn't think it was going to be this long.
Your new book, which you're here to promote, Putting the Rabbit in the Hat, I mean, it is your story about your childhood, your movie career. You've not been scared to be quite vulnerable while writing the book. What is, would you say, the biggest takeaway that people will get after reading the book?
Well, I hope, I mean, the book, the initial impetus for the book was to do with really honoring my parents, my mum and dad. And it's something I really believe in. You know, it's the one thing that, you know, I'm not Christian, but the one thing I do believe is honor thy father and thy mother. And for them, it was very tough, and all sorts of things happened which they couldn't have foreseen. And just, I mean, my dad didn't know he was going to die at the age of 51, and my mum didn't realize that her mental health wasn't as strong as it was. So she was, you know, and it was just one of those situations. And ironically, I never felt any adverse. I just got on with it. You know, I didn't feel, oh, poor me, or any of that stuff. I just thought, well, this is the reality, and I've got to move into a different reality. And of course, it's absolutely what an actor does. I mean, he moves into, you know, you play a role and you go into that reality of that role. So in a way, in life, you do the same. You deal with what is given you, the hand that's given you, and you think, oh, this is what I've got. Well, not a very good hand, but I'll make the best of it, and then it improves. You know, so I feel blessed in that way. I feel very lucky, and I'm also very lucky that I had the parents I had who were highly sensitive in their own way. And I found this wonderful letter from my mum that she wrote. It was a diary entry on the day my father was buried. And she describes their relationship as how they had their little misgivings. And it's such an extraordinary phrase, a kind of Victorian phrase about the idea they had misgivings. And basically, my father was very, very generous. And my mother, her belief was charity began at home, you know. So there was that kind of schism between them. And I grew up with that. And but it didn't hurt me or affect me, and it was stultify me in any way. I just thought, that's the reality. I have to deal with it.
Was it therapeutic for you to put it down?
Oh yeah, it was cathartic, absolutely. But it was also to do with honoring them because of their lives, you know. And you know, and we all do that with our own children. You know, that we have a certain sense of responsibility towards them. But finally, they're their own creatures, and you can only stand by and watch them either succeed or fail, and be there for them, both in terms of encouragement and in terms of care, you know.
Finally, I'm dying for the next season of Succession to come out. What can we expect from it?
I can't tell you that.
Of course you can't.
I'm not in a position to tell you that. I'm not allowed to. I've got signed NDAs up to the wazoo, and I'm not allowed to. You know, we continue on our path. We've still got a lot to sort out. The kids have got to come to some kind of realization that if they're, you know, what's going to happen to the business, who's going to inherit, who's not going to inherit, and we're coming to the sharp end now.
Can you tell if we're going to see any new characters on the show?
Yes, there's a couple of new characters, coming in. Yeah.
Brian, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much
You're
for taking
welcome.
the time out to speak
You're
to me,
welcome.
and very good luck with your book.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Hi, I'm Brian Cox, and you're watching DXB Today.
Logan Roy, Brian Cox, in conversation with Ajit there. Make sure you tune in on Monday as we catch up with yet more celebrity authors in town for the Lit Fest. And, of course, bring you up to date with what's happening around Dubai.
For now, it's time for the weekend, and good night from us, and over to Minova.
Days went by since you had to leave town. I know you needed to move out. It's lonely when you're gone. Say you try to call me when you're feeling down. I know it's hard to come around, but we'll try and figure it out. You so I sit by the phone and wait for your call. I miss you so. I sit by the phone and wait for your call. Say what you want, it's not your fault. Take what I got, 'cause now it's yours.